up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer a Day with TK. It's a warm one here in Findlay, Ohio. It's about 85 degrees, and I'm hanging out in the beer shed, getting ready to check out a new beer. Now, as this is a Wednesday, those that are regulars of the show will know it's WTF Wednesday. This is the one day a week when I try a beer that I probably normally wouldn't on the program. So sometimes that means I do stuff from the big boys, Bud, Miller, Coors. Sometimes I do stuff from microbreweries, but maybe it's a little odd variety or weird flavors going on. And sometimes I try to do some international stuff that I don't really see on the reg. Now, I'm sweating already out here. These flying ants have taken over the shed, but I've sprayed everywhere, so hopefully they'll be gone by tomorrow. The beer that I have today is actually one called Haywards 5000, and this says Indian Premium Beer. I picked this up at a little convenience store in Findlay here. And I was looking for something a little bit different, for a WTF Wednesday video. And I spotted this, and I didn't remember having it. Now, when I came back and looked on Untappd, it appears that I did have this in 2015 and 2016. Now, that seems a bit prophetic, because as I look at the date on here, I didn't look at this in the store. A critical error on my part. This says manufactured on March the 27th, 2016. And I just bought this in 2022 in a beer shop, which is kind of funny. One of the Facebook groups I'm in, someone had just asked, what's the oldest beer you've ever pulled off the shelf in a store? And now the answer is this thing. So 2016, this thing's been sitting around a minute. Not sure what to expect of it. It says, if you look on the box here, it says genuinely imported, which is, I guess, significant, right? A lot of us might laugh and say, what does that mean? But I think it means exactly what it says. A lot of times we see these beers that we think are imports, like Foster's, and they're actually not made somewhere else. They're made in America or Canada, even though they tell you it's made in Australia, right? Because Foster's is Australian for beer. Now, on this one, it says manufactured by SAB Miller, India Limited, in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, India. So my apologies if I mispronounce any of those for my Indian viewers, although I suspect there's only one Indian viewer. So Saurabh, if I screwed it up, my bad, my friend. We got a little bit of a blurb on the back of here. It says, Haywards 5000 is an authentic, premium Indian lager that hails as India's most preferred and popular beer. The bold character and lingering flavor of this Indian classic derives from a careful blend of select hops and malts in the brewing process that exemplifies timeless Indian traditions. Exclusively brewed and bottled in India, the crown jewel of the Indian beer is now enjoyed worldwide. As far as the crown, just says Hayward 5000, nothing too cool there. The other kind of interesting thing here, as we look down, I see the ingredients that are written very small on the bottom here, and it says ingredients: water, malted barley, rice/maize, sugar, hops, yeast, CO2, and ethyl alcohol. Kind of scary list of ingredients there, right? Now, the other interesting thing is when I went to look this up on Beer Advocate and Untappd, it was kind of a little confusing. They had this Haywards 5000. One of them was listed as Haywards 5000 on Beer Advocate as super premium beer. But when I scanned this on Untappd, it showed up as Haywards 5000 super strong beer. Now, on Beer Advocate, it was listed as a malt liquor, and on Untappd, it was listed as a strong lager. So, hey, take that for what it is, and let's go in and see what happens when we drink, I guess, which is at this point, I guess, March 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, a 6-year-old beer. All right, 8% ABV. Couldn't find anything on the IBUs. As far as the ratings, it was kind of a mixed bag. On Untappd, it had a 3.02, and I looked at my ratings from years ago, and I gave it a 3, which means it's serviceable. And on Beer Advocate, it had a 2.71, although the aggregate score there was a 65 poor. Now, what do I expect from this? Probably like the other Indian beer we had. I don't expect this to be anything spectacular. Kind of more of a Euro lager type thing, maybe a stronger version of it, considering the 8% ABV. But, is what it is. As far as the color, if I have my Brew HQ chart here, I'm probably going to go with maybe a 7. I think it says deep gold, kind of pale ale-ish color. Had about a finger and a half. There's still half of a finger hanging about there. Fair amount of carbonation, big bubbles. Yeah, it looks all right. Let's give it a sniff. Now, I've been on antibiotics for about 3 weeks, so I can actually smell and taste. Excellent, probably the best I've been able to in a while. So I was eager to see what this nose was like. I expected something nasty, to be honest, because we did see it as rice and corn, right? Does it say rice and corn? Maize. Oh, I guess, let me see. Where did it go? Malted barley, rice, maize, sugar. So corn and rice, the unholy alliance there. I expect it to be super sweet and gross. It's actually not. It tastes, or smells rather, sorry. It smells malty, and it smells a little bit sweet. A lot of times with malt liquors, if it is indeed a malt liquor or a strong lager, they have that real cloyingly sweet smell that I pick up usually, and usually it's an immediate turn off for me. I'm not picking that up. Now, like I said, last time I had this had it in 2015 and 16, so I honestly forgotten I even had this. I think once you start hitting a lot of check-ins, I think I crossed 5,000 unique on Untapped. I forget beers all the time. I'll go to the store, pick something up that I think's new, come home, and lo and behold, I've had it. Sometimes they throw me off when they change the artwork. Sometimes I just forget. Smell not super off-putting. All right, let's give it a shot. Cheers. Body. This is medium full. This is viscous. There's something to this. Yeah, it's not quite syrupy, but you're drinking it. It's there. The flavors, I don't know. Honestly, it's not that bad. Like I said, I know when I had it in 2015 and 16, I gave it a 3 both times because of 5-star rating. 3 is usually my generic rating. If the beer is it's all right, I drink it again. 3 out of 5 is a pass for me. I think that's probably a fair assessment of this. You do pick up some sweetness, right? But it's not overpoweringly sweet. You do pick up a little bit of the booze. So, I mean, it's 8%. It's not super, super strong. But I guess compared to Euro lager standards where we're dealing with 4% or so, 8 is, I guess, double. I would say tiny bit of alcohol. You don't get a burn, but you have a boozy taste to it. A lot of times when you swallow it, you get that burn down your throat. I'm not getting a burn. But you definitely know that this is higher than, maybe the average 5% beer or something like that. Other flavors, I mean, I know it said it had rice and corn and all those things in it. I don't really pick up the gross corn taste. That's one thing I really dislike. I can't say any of them are super discernible. You get a bit of malt. There's no hop presence at all. It's non-existent. You definitely get the sweetness, so it lets you know that it's a higher ABV. And that's kind of it. I know the sweetness is probably from the corn and the rice because they're adjuncts. But I don't know. It's not terrible. Now, I would say this. If I were to stack this up versus that other Indian beer that I did about a week ago or so, I would go with the other all day long because the syrupiness of this, it makes it a bit off-putting. I like, a bit of body on my beer. I don't really like the light beers, but this is, I don't know, it's almost like you're drinking, it's not quite cough syrup, but it's got that kind of texture to it, which, I don't know, is a bit off-putting for me. All things considered, for a 6-year-old beer, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Is it something I would drink regularly? No. But it's also not something I'd say, oh my God, this is dreadful. I would never drink it again. So this is going to be one of the few times where I'm going to give it an eh. Doesn't get a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It gets an eh. If somebody had these, I would drink one. Probably wouldn't want to drink more than one. But yeah, it's serviceable. If I was at a restaurant and they served me this with my meal, I could live with it. So I guess it is what it is. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, got any comments or questions, jump in down below. Have you had Haywards 5000? It looked like there were some other versions of this too. I know one said Haywards 5000 Gold. So I don't know if that's a different one or just a marketing thing. If you've had one of the other ones, let me know what you think of this beer. Hey, until next time, cheers.